Okay. All right. Well, good morning, everybody, and happy Monday. My name's Jana. I'm with Realtour, and I'm going to take you guys on a nice little tutorial through our core products. Okay. It's a long tutorial, so I'll try to move through it as quickly as I can. There's a lot of information, but as we go along, you'll see that a lot of the steps in making our products are very repetitive. And we've kind of done that just to make things easier for people. Once you know how to make one product, it's pretty easy to make another one because a lot of the steps you go through are the same. Okay, so I'll try to pick up the pace in spots where I can, but there is a lot of information. All right, so I am logged in to my Realtor account, and this is what we call the dashboard page. It's basically just my home page. And just so you know, everybody's home page looks the same. So it doesn't matter if you're a real estate agent or a sales rep or a photographer, when you log into your account, your page is basically going to look like this. Now, I have a few extra goodies down here at the bottom. I have a little admin menu, and once you guys are all set up as title reps, you'll also have a little admin menu. When I open it up, you'll have some extra things that you can do. I have a lot, you'll just have a couple. But a regular real estate agent, when they log in, they don't have the admin menu, but they have everything else. So I'm not sure how familiar you guys are with Realtor, so I'm just going to do a really, really quick run through of the homepage before we get started. So basically, we have all of our main marketing products right here on the home page. We also have drop-down menus across the top under marketing. We have the exact same marketing products that you see right here. The reason we have it in a drop-down is just in case you're in the middle of a product and you're no longer on the home page, but you might want to access something. You can always access it through here, through the drop-down, okay? Next up is My Account. When you create your Realtor account for the first time, and this is especially true for your agents, if you're ever going to be training agents or anything, let them know that it's really important just to take a few minutes and fill in their contact information, and they can upload a headshot and a logo. When you create a Realtor account, all you need is an email address and a password. That's it. There's no fees, nothing. You literally come onto Realtor, you can click on sign up, create free account. Totally free. You just put in your email address, make up a password, and you're done. That's all you have to do. However, we always try to say to people, take a minute, go to my account, and I'm going to go here now, click on contact information, fill in your contact information. You don't have to fill in everything, but if you fill in your office address, your various contact phone numbers, your email address, stuff like that, you'll see as we go through the process that a lot of this information will auto-populate into the marketing materials that you're making, and it will save you time as you're going through stuff, okay? So you can upload, you can fill in all your contact information. Same thing with headshots and logos. You'll see that you can upload various headshots. Now, this is a testing account that I use for training, so I have just a whole bunch of headshots in here. Most people are going to have one, maybe two. Maybe they work with a partner from time to time and they'll have three, but you can upload. I mean, all of our photo uploaders allow you to have 60 images at a time, so you can have a lot uploaded here. Same thing with logos. Most people will have two or three versions of their logos, a black and white, a color, a transparent background one. You can upload all of your logos in here, okay? And then they will just stay in your account and they'll be available for all of your marketing materials. But you'll see as we go along that taking a minute to do this will save you time in the long run, okay? All right, so let's go back to the home page. So marketing products, my account, shopping cart. If you ever need to go and check out your shopping cart, you can go. You can also look at your shopping cart history to see what you've spent on stuff. Maybe you want to know, I sent an e-flyer last month, but I can't remember how much I spent on it and how many people I sent it to. You can always check your history. If you ever want to look at pricing, you can just click on each of our products and it'll show you the pricing for each of those. Statistics, if you ever want to check the statistics for something that you have sent out, so if you sent out an e-flyer and you want to know how many people have clicked on it, you can go to statistics, click on the e-flyer you sent, and it will give you a rundown. Help and support. If at any time you need help and support, you can always email me. You can always email Amanda, who I think some of you have been dealing with. Amanda is basically our client support person, and we have a little chat line. She mans that chat line. So if you want to just chit chat with someone really quickly, you can click help and support right here and she'll pop up on a chat and you can chat back and forth with her, or you can email her, or you can email myself if you need help with anything. Okay, so that's a really, really quick run through of our homepage. Let's get started because we have a lot to get through. What we're going to cover today are our 4 core products. So these are the products that we call them our bread and butter products. These are the products that all of our agents use over and over again, and they're the most important ones for you guys to understand. So basically, we're going to cover photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers, and print materials. Okay, so we're going to start with photo shoot. I basically go through them in the order that a typical agent would go through the process. So let's just pretend that I'm a real estate agent and I just got a brand new listing and I'm really excited about it. I want to get started with my marketing materials. I always try to encourage our clients to invest in ordering a professional photo shoot. It is so worth it. I mean, the most basic photo shoot from most of our photographers comes in at about $100 to $120, and you'll get anywhere from 20 to 30 professional, beautiful photographs that you can then use in all of your marketing material. So I always say to people, you know what, it's worth it. When people are looking at properties online, they're looking at pictures. If your photographs aren't great, there's a good chance they're not going to be interested in contacting you about your listing. So it's really important to get great pictures, and it's easy. The easiest way is just to book a photo shoot through us. Okay, so let's say I'm an agent, I just got my listing, I'm going to book my photo shoot. I'm logged into my account, I see photo shoots, I just click to get started. Okay? All right, first step it's going to do, it brings me to what we call the listing page. This page has all of my listings that I've already set up and created in my account. Now, you might be coming here for the first time, in which case you would have no listings. But we're in my account, and I've got all kinds of listings set up for training and tutorials. And if I was a normal real estate agent, I might have 5 listings, I might have 25 listings. The point is your listings will always be on the next page that you come to, okay? They're always divided into 2 categories. The listings that are over here on the left, these are listings that already have the product that I'm trying to do. So I'm trying to book a photo shoot. These 3 listings have already had photo shoots booked in the past. I can go in and book a new photo shoot if I want. These listings over here in this column, these are listings that I've already created in my account, but they don't have a photo shoot booked for them. I can book a photo shoot for one of these. Most likely, the first thing the agent does is book the photo shoot, which means they haven't even set up their listing in their account. That is the usual scenario, in which case they're going to click on Create Listing, because that's the first thing you have to do whenever you're ordering a product. You've got to set up your listing in your account. We always come to the same page when we're creating a listing. We just call it the property details page. Now, there's a lot of fields on this page. You do not have to fill in all of the fields, especially at this time. If I just want to book the photo shoot and I'm on my way out the door, I've got a meeting, but I've got 5 minutes, I want to book my photo shoot, you can do that. You can always come back to this page later, as you'll see, and fill in stuff later, okay? All we need to do to move ahead is fill in the required fields, and it's just the 4 fields that are underlined in green. It's basically just the address for my new listing. Okay, so for today, let's just make up an address because this is just going to be a tutorial listing. Let's just call it Monday Street. Okay. Oh, I'll answer your question in a second. So a question just came in. I just saw it. I'll answer you in 1 second. I'm just going to finish filling this in. So let's just fill in these basics. My zip code. Okay. Next, I get a little question asking me if I want to feature my listing on House Hunt. Right now, I'm going to say no because this is not a real listing, and I'll show you guys what House Hunt is later on in the process. Okay, so I've got my 4 fields filled in, and now I get a Create Listing button, which I didn't have before. Now I can move on to the next step. So I'm going to click on that. And you have to bear with me. Things are always a little slower when we're on webinar. Okay, the next page, and this should answer the question that just came in. The next page is going to show me all of the available photographers who service the zip code of the listing I just created. So I'm basically in sort of the downtown Austin area with that zip code, okay? So I believe I have, if I scroll down, I think there are 5 photographers who will service this zip code. So I can choose from among these photographers whichever one I want to book. And maybe someone's come recommended to me. Most of our agents will book with the same photographer over and over again. But you get a chance to look at who's available. You can click on portfolio and look at a portfolio of their best images so you get an idea of what kind of photography they take. I can click on pricing, which I'm going to click on now. I get a little pop-up window, and it just shows you the kind of packages, how many photos are included in those packages, and what the prices are for each photographer. So if I scroll down, I can see that, okay, this one does HDR, they do twilight, night shoots. They've got some packages that include aerial shots. And I think down at the bottom, they even have some video stuff, aerials, interior stuff, extra stuff, all kinds of stuff. So I can scroll down and take a look at what each photographer offers. And most of these photographers know each other personally. You know, they're all in the same industry. They work in the same area. So you can be sure that most of their packages and pricing are very competitive with each other, right? Because they're all together in the same industry. I can also take a look at everybody's calendar and see what days they're available. So let's just go with David. Let's say that, someone recommended David to me, or I work with David all the time. Either way, I'm going to choose David. And I want the next available. Well, look at this. David, it says open on Tuesday. So that means I could book this today and my photo shoot will be done tomorrow. So I'm great with that. That's the one I want. All I have to do is click on Tuesday. That's the day I want. The next page is going to show me, again, the pricing and the packages that we just saw, only this time I actually get to pick one. Actually, I'm going to pick a different day. Sorry, guys. Okay. Here we go. Sorry. Okay. So I'm going to go through the packages, find the one that I want. Let's just do a basic package. Let's just say that we've got a small listing. We just want the basic package. I get 25 pictures. It's $125. All I do is tick to select, scroll down, make sure there's nothing else I want to order, and then hit continue. Okay. The next page is going to bring me to the instruction page. All I do on this page is give David a little bit of information for how he's going to access the property when he's there to do the photo shoot. So I have three options. Maybe there's a code for the lockbox. I can fill in the code. Or David's going to meet me at the property. And you'll notice in this field, my phone number is already auto-populated. So this is just one example of where our system will auto-populate information that you filled in under my account and to save you time. Now, there's no reason. I can also type in these fields and add a different phone number. But if I'm in a rush, just to save me some time, the system auto-populates my mobile number in here because I filled it in under my account. Okay? Or maybe the owner will be home and I can tick this and put the owner's name and number. I can fill in any extra instructions that David should know, right? I can say, oh, the owner just had some landscaping done. They'd really like you to take some pictures of the gardens, right? Anything like that, or there's a dog in the yard. Anything you need, fill it in right here on the instructions page and then click add to cart. Okay, now I'm in my shopping cart. So it was just that easy. We literally just booked a photo shoot. I can look at everything in the cart, make sure this is what I wanted. It's photography by David Stewart. This was the listing address that I booked it for. This was the date that I booked it for. Okay, this was the package that I chose. You'll notice it also says Platinum Virtual Tour for $0. This is because with every single professional photo shoot that anyone orders, you automatically get a free Platinum Virtual Tour, and that's worth $30. So that is another really good reason, a really good incentive to get agents to book professional photo shoots because you get beautiful photography to use in all of your marketing material, and you get a Platinum Virtual Tour, which is free. Okay? One more thing I'll mention about this as well. We've done this to make life easy for our agents. I don't know if you guys remember the days. Well, it's still like this for most people when you're trying to share large files and folders online. So you can imagine how hard it is for a photographer to get those pictures to the agent. And a lot of agents aren't necessarily computer savvy, so they don't understand how to use Dropbox. They don't really, like having to download a zipped folder and then unzip it, and then what do I do with it? There's confusion. So what we've done is we've built a back end for all of our photographers to use. Once David has finished taking the photographs, he logs into his Realtour account and he has a back end where he can upload all of the pictures he's just done for me. He creates my virtual tour for me. And then when he's done, I get an email saying, hi, Jana, your photos are done, your virtual tour is done. You can click right in the email that I get to download the pictures and save them on my computer. I can also click and watch the virtual tour right from the email, or I can log into my account, go into virtual tours, and take a look at it from the front end. And that's what we're going to do next, okay? So just a quick recap on ordering a photo shoot. You saw how easy that was, right? I just create my listing. I choose the photographer I want. I pick the package I want. If there's any instructions, I fill them in, and suddenly I'm in the shopping cart. Once I pay for this, the order goes through, and I'm done. So what I'm going to do right now is just delete this item so we don't accidentally book a fake photo shoot from David. You'll also see that when you're in the shopping cart, you always have a delete beside any item in there. So you can always delete stuff if you want to. Okay? I'm going to go back to my dashboard page. So that was ordering a photo shoot. It's really easy. You see that you can actually do it. So someone's got a question. You can easily do it in about just a couple minutes. So let me just make sure I answered everyone's questions. Can they use a photographer not on your list? Yes. So if you have your own photographer that you work with and they're not a Realtour photographer, that's totally fine. You can have someone else take your photographs for you. You can take your own photographs. A lot of our agents will take their own pictures. You do not have to book a photo shoot through us. You'll be able to use your own pictures and upload them into all of our marketing products, and I'll show you how to do that as well. The only thing is that obviously you're not going to book the photo shoot this way. You're going to book it the way you always do, get the pictures from your own photographer, and then you can upload them into the virtual tour and the e-flyer and the print material. So I'll show you that as we go through it. Okay, we've just done our photo shoot. Most people, what they do next is their virtual tour. So again, as I mentioned, if you've done a professional photo shoot, then the photographer is going to create the tour for you. But if you use your own pictures, you create the tour yourself. Either way, we're on the dashboard and we're going to click on virtual tours. And it's a little slow. Here we go. Okay. Once again, we are on the listing page, right? So we have all our listings on the left that already have a virtual tour published and paid for and ready to go. So I can go in, if I want to do anything further to these, I can check statistics for them. I can edit the tour. If my listing is sold and done, I can set this listing to inactive and it will be stored on my inactive listings page. I can go into inactive listings and delete it if I never want to see it again. Or if I want to save it for a while, just in case, I can store it on my inactive listings page, okay? The listings in the middle column, these are listings that I've started. For example, here's the one we just made, 123 Monday Street, but I haven't done the virtual tour. I haven't finished or published my virtual tour. So your virtual tour might be halfway done. Our system will save it. You don't have to finish things all the time. You can start something and then you get interrupted for whatever reason. Our system will save everything you've done. You can come back in later and edit your virtual tour or whatever it is you're working on, okay? Our system will always save it for you. All right, so here, or if I'm starting, for example, if I have my own pictures and I don't want to book a photo shoot, I can just create listing and do what I did for the photo shoot right here for the virtual tour. But to save us a little bit of time, because we don't want to keep you guys here too long, I'm going to choose one of my listings that already has a virtual tour and it already has all the content just so you can see what it looks like and to save us some time. So here's my Tutorial Street listing. I'm going to go into options and click edit so you guys can see the back end. All right. We're in the back end of the virtual tour creator. All of our products in the back end have what we call a navigation bar that spans across the top of your page, okay? This is so you can jump around through the steps. You can skip things that you don't want because a lot of features, especially in our Platinum Tour, are optional, right? You don't have to do them. Some people just want to, upload their pictures, pick some music, and then they're done. They don't want to do anything else. This way, you don't have to go one step after another. You can jump all the way to the end, or if you're at the end and you need to jump back to the beginning to make a change, you can do that, okay? So this is our navigation bar. Right now, we are on the property details page. Now, this page might look familiar because when we booked our photo shoot, the first thing we had to do was create a listing, and we first came to this page. Only this is what the page looks like when it's full of content. So I've filled in all of my fields. I've already got a picture uploaded and I've got my property description paragraph, okay? So this is what it looks like when it's already filled in. Now I can come in here at any time and click in any of these fields and make changes if I need to, okay? So even if my virtual tour is published and it's out there on the MLS, it's on the internet, if I need to come in here and make a change, maybe the price has changed, I can just come in here, click, let's reduce the price to $8.25. Click away, now it's saved. Now if someone watches my virtual tour, they're gonna see $8.25, okay? It's automatically updated. Because when someone is watching your virtual tour on the MLS or anywhere else, they're clicking on a link and the tour is saved on our servers. So we always have the latest version of it. So if you need to change something, just click in here and it's done automatically for you. Okay, so this is the property details page. Next up, photos. And I think we're actually going to change this to media because more and more people are using media in their tours. So they're using a combination of photography, videos, Matterport stuff, all that stuff. So I think we'll probably change this to media at some time. Okay, there's a lot going on this page, all right? So you can see I've got all these different tabs. I'm going to start with photos. Here are my photos for my tour. If I mouse over, you get a bigger version so you can see it. Now, if I had booked a professional photo shoot, the photographer will upload these photos, and when I come into my tour for the first time, the photos are going to be sitting here, just like you see now. However, as I mentioned, you can use your own photography if you have it. Either you've taken the pictures yourself or you've got a different age or photographer who doesn't work with us and you've got those photos, that's totally fine. You'll notice down here you've got an upload images button. If I click upload images, I can navigate to wherever I have the images saved on my own computer. I just have a folder called images, right? I can find the images I want, I can click on them and then click go and it'll upload it. Now, if I just do one, that's fine. It's a lot faster, but you can upload all of them. I could click all of these and they'll upload all at the same time, right? Just to save you some time. So let's just pick one. I don't think I have this one. Let's say I want to upload it. Click go, scroll down to the bottom, and it's uploading it right there. Oh, it happened really fast. You probably didn't see that. When I upload a new picture, it's always going to show at the bottom down here. And then if I want to change the order of it, I can click on it and move it somewhere else if I want. There we go. Okay, so there's a few things you can do here in your photos. You can delete a photo if you don't want it. You can rotate the photo because we get people who take pictures on their phones and when they upload them, they're sideways. They need to rotate them. That happens all the time. So you can rotate it. If you want to download an individual image, you can do that as well. If the photos were taken by a photographer, remember, you're not going to have them saved on your computer. They're only saved in your Realtour account, so you can download them. You can download one image at a time if you want, just one image, or you'll notice we have a download images feature. Okay, so you can download our images at 5 different sizes, depending on what you need the images for. You might just want to download them at full size, and then you can send them to the MLS, or you can send them to your graphic designer who's going to make you some brochures or something. So you can download the images at whatever size. These will download as a zipped folder and then you can save it somewhere on your computer. Maybe you want to send them to your client because they also want a copy of them. You can do all of that in here. So Photos tab is for uploading just regular plain old photography. Panos. If you don't know what panos are, that's when the photographer will go and set up his tripod and take a picture that spans, it rotates, and basically does a 360-degree view of the room or the yard, whatever it is he's doing. If you have panos, you can upload panos, or the photographer maybe took some as part of your package, okay? So panos will show right here, okay? Video, if you have a video of your property or even a video of yourself, maybe the agent is using it as a little introductory thing, you can upload your video right here, okay? Matterport, as I mentioned, some of our photographers do Matterport shoots, so you can book that through us, or maybe you've got someone else who you're booking a Matterport photo shoot through, that's fine. They will send you the code for it, and you can copy and paste your code right here. That will embed it into the virtual tour. We're going to jump to floor plans. If you have a floor plan for your property, you can upload the floor plan. Oh, someone wants to know what a Matterport shoot is. As we go through, when we get through our tour and look at it from the front end, I'll show you a sample of a Matterport shoot. Basically, it's like a 3D. It's like a whole bunch of 3D panos put together, and you feel like you are actually in the house. But I'll show you, Amy, when we get there so you can see it. Floor plans. If you have a floor plan of your property, you can upload the floor plan here, and I'll show you how that works later. You don't have to. As I've said, we'll go through a lot of these steps, and they're optional. You know, if you don't have video, if you don't have panos, don't worry about it. You don't need them. These are just here if you want to use them because we are in the Platinum Tour, and I wanted to show you guys all the bells and whistles that you can have. And again, headshots and logos. These are the same headshots and logos that I have in my account, okay? But if you didn't do it in my account, you can do it here when you're in the tour. Up to you. Okay, one thing else I want to show you, actually there's a couple things I want to show you before we move on. You'll notice on the Photos tab, each photo has an add or edit caption. If I click on that, I get a little pop-up window. We call it the caption text editor. If you want to add some caption text to your pictures, you can do that right here. So this is just a text field, and hello, whatever I type in that text field will show up here so I can see how it's going to look in my finished product. You can go through each picture and add your captions. There is a limit. I can't remember how many characters it is, but basically you're only going to want to have like one line of text because the pictures flow through the virtual tour. You know, you need to only have just enough text that someone can read the caption. You're not going to put a paragraph of text here because no one has time to read it. Plus our system will cut you off. You basically get about 2.5 lines of text that you can include here. But most people, if they're going to do captions, and again, this is optional, you don't have to, most people will just call out something that they want the viewer to notice, like the beautiful skylights or the beautiful flooring or the stainless steel appliances in the kitchen. You get the idea. So you can type them in here. You can do them one at a time, or you can click next image and go to the next image. You do not have to have a caption on every image. You can just pick and choose if you want, okay? So it's really, really easy to use, you know, next, next, next. When you're done, this is just a pop-up window. Just close the pop-up window and you're right back on the photos page where you were before, okay? Really easy if you want to add captions. Now, the one tab that we haven't looked at yet is Arrange Tour. So this is something new that we've put in. This is for people who want to mix in the photos, panos, and videos, mix them all together in whatever order they want. Because right now, if you just leave the pictures as they are, your virtual tour is going to play with these pictures in this order, followed by your panos, and then followed by either your video or your Matterport. You can choose to start the tour with pano or Matterport. Okay, you can choose that down here. So most people do not have videos, they don't have Matterport, they just have photography. So they might just click on their images, drag and drop them into the order they want right here on the Photos tab, and then they're done. Their virtual tour will play with everything in this order, and they're happy with that. But if you want to mix in your panos and your video mixed in with your regular photography, you can do that now on the Arrange Tour tab. So if I click on the Arrange Tour tab, it now has all of my photos, plus it has my panos and it has my video that I had uploaded as well. Okay, so it's in here that you can click and drag and drop. I might want to drag my pano way up here to the top. Maybe I want a couple still pictures and then I want a pano because I've got kitchen, kitchen, and then pano of the kitchen. Then I want to do living room, and a pano of the living room. That's entirely up to you. Okay, if there is something that you do not want in your tour, but you don't want to delete the picture entirely, you want to save it because you might use it for something else, you can delete it from here. It doesn't delete it out of the listing. Okay, it's just sitting here in excluded. Oh, I've deleted my video. If you want to bring something back, you can bring it back just by clicking the little plus sign. Now it will appear back in your virtual tour. But by deleting it out of here, I didn't delete it out of my Photos tab. It is saved in my Photos tab forever. Because sometimes you'll get a pro photo shoot done and they'll take 30 or 40 pictures, but you don't want that many in the tour. You maybe only want 15 or 20 in the tour. So you come into your Arrange Tour, you delete the ones you don't want, you get it down to 20 pictures, get them in the order you want. Your virtual tour will play whatever you have in the Arrange Tour tab. But I can still go to Photos and all of my 30, 40, or 50 pictures are still saved here in my account, so I can use them in my e-flyers, stuff like that. Okay? All right. That is the Photos page. Don't panic. There's a lot on that page. Other pages are much easier, as you'll see, and we'll flow through them quickly. Next up is the map. This shows the location of my listing. I do not have to do anything on this page, okay? It's just a Google map, and our system has dropped a little location marker where my address is. Remember my little tutorial street? Okay, right downtown Austin. However, if this marker is not in the exact location it should be, and this happens sometimes if if you've got a new listing that's in a new subdivision or something, Google doesn't always have that mapped yet. You can click on the marker and move it. Maybe it needs to be over here. You can click on it and move it a little bit to where it actually needs to be. So if you need to do that, you can do that on the map page. Floor plans. This is optional. Okay? If you do not have a floor plan for your listing, don't worry about it. You don't need it. You can just skip this step. If you do have a floor plan, now you might remember back on the Photos page, I uploaded a floor plan. Here it is. What we've done is we've included all of our pictures from the Photos page, and what I can do if I want to illustrate my floor plan, I can drag and drop pictures onto the floor plan and put them where they should be. Here's a living room. I'm going to put that in the living room. Okay? A little dining area, bathroom, wherever that is. Okay, as I've dragged my pictures over, they turn into a little camera icon. And you'll see this when we look at the front end of the tour. When you click on the camera icon, you get a nice pop-up of the picture. So basically, you're just illustrating the floor plan, and when someone's looking at it, they can look at a photograph so they can see what that room actually looks like. But you don't have to do that. You might want to include your floor plan and not have anything on it. You just want the plain old floor plan. That's fine. You can include that too. Next up is flyer. Again, this is optional. Now, if you have already made a flyer, whether it's print material or an e-flyer for this listing, a little thumbnail of that flyer that you already made will show up in here. And if you want, you can drag and drop one of these over here. And now when someone is watching your tour and for whatever reason they might want to download a PDF of this flyer, they can do that. There's a link in the tour. If you do not have a flyer, you can leave the tour at this point if you want, go to eFlyers or print materials, make your flyer, then you can come back into the virtual tour. It'll show up here. You can drag and drop it over and it'll be included in your tour. If you do not want a flyer or anything included, just leave this. I can click delete. Now it's gone. No materials have been selected. There'll be no flyer. Okay, but I'm actually going to do one so you guys can see what it looks like from the front end. So that's how you do your flyer. Branding. We have some very basic branding options for our agents when they get here. Basically, there are different, we call them skins, that can go on the outside of your player, and they just come in different colors. So you can click on one down here, and it'll reload your tour and show you the skin. And this is my actual tour. There's my picture, there's my headshot. It's already got my name, my phone number, all my stuff, right? So I can actually click on these and go through and do a little test of what my tour is going to look like, okay? If I click on this one, it's the white one, I think. Yeah. You might want to pick up one that matches your logo, like blue. So let's say I'm Remax, so I've got blue and red. Let's go with blue. There we go. So I have a nice blue player. My other options include how many agents. I can feature one agent or two. Right now I've got one. There's my headshot. Now, as I mentioned, oh, I've got a question here from Amy about headshot or floor plans. Some of our photographers will create the floor plans as part of their packages, but we don't have vendors who just do floor plans. So yeah, agents will have to come up with the floor plan themselves. Either they can get their photographer to do it, or they can hire someone to do it, or the builder will send them a PDF or a JPEG of the floor plan. But we don't have vendors that work specifically with us who specifically do floor plans. Okay. So you can do one agent or two agents. As you'll see, my headshot and my logo were already here when I got here. This is because I already uploaded them under my contact information, under my account. I have my headshot and my logo. Now it will auto-populate with the very first headshot and the very first logo that I've uploaded. If I don't want that headshot, I can just click to change it. Here are all of my headshots, and I can pick whichever one I want. Now I've got a new headshot. Okay, and then my tour is going to repopulate. And I can see there, oh, that's what it's going to look like. There's my new headshot. I can change my logo too, right? It'll always auto-populate with the first headshot and the first logo that you have, but you can drag and drop them around just like I did in the virtual tour, okay, to have them auto-populate the way you want. Also, my name, my phone number, and my email address are already auto-populated here. This just saves me some time, but these fields are editable, so I can click in them and change. Maybe I have a different phone number. I want them to call my office number, not my cell phone number for this particular listing. I just type in the new number, click away, now it's saved. And this is going to refresh. Now I can see my new phone number right there. Perfect. That's all you do on the branding page. Pretty easy. Next up is SEO. So people are a lot more familiar with SEO now, search engine optimization. Years ago, when we first put this in, you really had to train people. They didn't really understand what it meant. Basically, all you're going to do, and this is optional, but you should do it. It only takes a minute. Type in some keywords that someone might use when they're searching for a property. Okay, if someone goes to Google and they're looking for a 4-bedroom house downtown Austin with a swimming pool, and you've got those like that matches your listing, type in those keywords. 4-bedroom, you could put downtown Austin, swimming pool, deck, air conditioning, new kitchen, anything you think that someone might search for. If you include these keywords in with your tour, then when someone goes to their search engine, Google or Yahoo or whatever, and they search for that, there's a very good chance that your virtual tour is going to show up higher up there in the search results, which is what you want. Okay? So take a minute to do your SEO. Again, you just type them in the text field. We've included your property description that you had on the property details page in case you can't think of any keywords, but I'm sure most agents can think of the proper keywords that someone's going to search for. Okay, next up is music. Really easy. You have the option of having some background music for your tour. Okay, so what we've got here are a bunch that you can listen to. If I click play, I can hear that music, but I've got a headset on, so you guys probably can't hear that. But when you're going in here and playing around, the agents can click and play a little snippet of each of these, choose the one they want just by ticking, and they're done. Now they have background music. If they don't want background music, just click no music. You don't need it. But anybody who's watched a virtual tour, it kind of adds to the experience having a nice little bit of background music. So I always recommend just pick a nice little bit of background music. Let's just go to Groove to the Wind. There we go. It just adds to the whole tour experience. Okay, so we've gone through all of the steps. We've got all of our stuff uploaded. We've added our captions. We've chosen our music. Next up is proof. Okay, I can click here and in a little pop-up window, okay, so pop-up window, I get a chance to see what my tour looks like from the front end. Now there's music playing, so I'm going to turn off that music. So what I can do is sit here and watch my slideshow, make sure all of my pictures look good, make sure they're in the order that I want them, that kind of stuff, make sure my captions show up, everything. Okay, I can also, oh, there's my pano. I can also stop my tour, okay? And then I have all of these little buttons that pop up. This is what we did in the back end. If I click on property details, here's my property detail page. This is what it looks like from the front end. Looks a lot nicer, right? Okay, oh, my floor plans. Remember I did a floor plan? There's my floor plan. There's my little camera icon. I can click on that and it'll pop up. Ah, there's my living room. Okay. Oh, forward to a friend. There are a few extra options that we put in the front end of the tour that the agent doesn't have to set up in the back end. For example, if you want to forward this tour to a friend, you can put in your friend's name, email address, hit go, and a link to the tour will be sent to them by email. Okay? 3D. So I uploaded just a sample Matterport so people could see what it looks like. So I think it was Amy who asked, this is what a Matterport tour is. And I don't know how well it will show on webinar. Whenever we're on webinar, there's always a delay. Whenever you're showing a virtual tour, it doesn't play smoothly. It's kind of choppy. So just bear with me. Matterport, so I don't know how well you guys can see this. So a photographer is going to go into the house and do a whole series of panorama photography throughout the whole house. And then the Matterport system, I don't know how it does it. It basically threads them all together and your finished product is like this. I can move around in the house. I can click. It feels like I'm in the house, just moving around in there. I can click on each of these and it takes me forward into the next room. Now I'm in the dining room. I can move forward. I can spin around. Now I'm in the kitchen. Spin around. There's the front hall. That's where I just came from. Spin around. I'm in the living room. It really feels like you are in the actual house. So before you take the time to go to an open house, you can actually tour the entire house. And a lot of these Matterport ones will take you into every room. They'll take you upstairs, down hallways. And again, I don't know how well this is playing for you guys because we're on webinar, but it's beautiful and smooth. It's really, really nice when you're actually in it and looking at it in your tour. Okay, and you can actually have this embedded into your virtual tour. We are in my virtual tour. If I exit the 3D option, I'm back where I was. Okay, in my virtual tour. So that's what a Matterport tour is. They're really cool. We also have a little contact page at the back of our tour, which we didn't force the agent to set up. It's just done for you, but it has your contact information. The viewer can fill in their name and their email address, their comments. They can do a little questionnaire, let you know what they liked about the property. They can also request a showing. They can click, I really want to see this property, maybe on Saturday or maybe Friday. They click the date, hit, I don't know, Friday morning, hit submit, and then you'll get an email from this person saying they'd like to see the property Friday morning. Can you do it? Basically, then you can contact them. Okay? So keep in mind, we're in the proof, right? This is a pop-up window. I can close it at any time. This is my chance to go through and make sure I've got everything right. My pictures are in the order I want. I don't have any typos in my captions. I've got the right phone number associated with my account. If I want to make any changes, I just close my pop-up window. I'm right back in the back end of the tour. Remember, I'm on the proof page. So I can now jump back to photos if I want to, fix the order. Maybe I didn't like the order I had everything. Maybe I had a typo in my caption. I can fix that. Maybe I don't want to use my flyer after all. I can get rid of that. Jump back to proof it again. Keep, fiddling around until I've got it the way I want it. Okay? That's how we make our tour. Last up are the links. So we've made the tour and is sitting in our Realtour account, but we need to get the tour out of our Realtour account. We want to get it on the MLS. We want to put it on Realtor.com. I want to get it onto my own website. When you come to the links page, once your tour is published and paid for, these links are live. So everyone gets to have a branded link for their tour that shows all of your branding stuff, but you also have an unbranded link because some MLSs do not allow branding on the tours. So these are your links for either of those. If you want to embed this tour into a page on your website, you can get the code right here for that, okay? You can send it either you're web savvy and you can do it yourself, or you've got a web guy who's going to do it for you. Same thing, if you want your tours to automatically appear on your website, here is some code that you can send to your developer and they'll set that up for you. Okay, so we've got all these tabs. That is the basic links tab, Realtor.com. If you want to send this tour to Realtor.com, just type in the MLS number and send link. It'll go. They usually show up within an hour or two. Okay? Domain name. All right. Domain name is an extra feature that you can purchase if you want. If I go back to links, you'll see that right now my domain, my URL for this tour is this, right? Some people don't like the way that looks. They don't like vtour.realtor.biz, blah, blah, blah. They want something neat and tidy. Maybe they just want the address, 123 Oak Street. If you want that, you can purchase a domain name right here. You just type in what you want and click check it. If it's available, you can then click purchase now and it'll put a fee of $19.95 into your shopping cart because you do have to pay if you want a unique domain name. If it's not available, it'll say not available, try again. And you can keep typing in combinations until you get one that you like, one that's available, and you can send the order to your shopping cart. And then on all your marketing material, you can have 123 Oak Street. That'll be the URL for your tour, okay? QR codes. So there was a time when everyone was crazy about QR codes. I'm not sure that people are really using them anymore, but we'll keep our QR code offering for a while yet, okay? Because there'll be some people who want it. Every time you make a virtual tour, we generate a free QR code for that tour. And you can download a JPEG of that QR code right here and just save it onto your computer. Maybe you're going to send that JPEG to your sign guy or to your graphic designer so they can put it into your print material, and then someone gets the stuff, they can scan the QR code with their phone and it will play the virtual tour on their phone. Okay? Facebook. If you want to send this tour to Facebook, you can do it right here from the back end. So when you do this for the very first time, you're going to go into Facebook and it will ask you to create a special page for this. So if you have a Facebook account that is for your real estate business, and a lot of agents do, you just create a new page. I think I just called mine, I don't know, I think I just called it my Realtour testing or something. But you would call it what you'd want. You'd call it my best listings or something. And then when you come back onto this page, you just create the post and it does it for you. You don't have to do anything else. That's all you do is click create post. Now I've already done one. I'll click view post so you can see what it looks like when you're on Facebook. We'll just give it a second to upload. So this is what it looks like. So this is my little Realtour testing page that I made. And if I want to send my virtual tours and my listings to this page, I just click go, and this is what it does. It takes text from my property details, it takes my main image, and then this is a link, and I can click on this and it will play the virtual tour. Okay, so you can send your stuff to Facebook right from the back end of your virtual tour. Same thing with YouTube. If you want to put your tour onto your YouTube channel, you can do that as well. Okay, when you come here for the first time, there'll be a button that says authorize. All you do is click authorize, and all you're doing is giving YouTube, you're giving us Realtour permission to send your videos to YouTube. If you have your own YouTube channel, they will be sent to that YouTube channel automatically. If you do not, then we just host them on the Realtour channel. That's fine. Either way, if someone goes to YouTube and searches for your listing address, a video of your virtual tour is going to show there and play there. Okay? And you can watch it on YouTube. You can download the video and save it on your computer. If you've made changes, you can regenerate the video. Okay? So that's YouTube. House Hunt. Now, I mentioned House Hunt very, very briefly at the very beginning. You have the option of posting your tours to what we call House Hunt. House Hunt is just a freebie marketing thing that we have made for agents to use. I'm going to show you what it looks like. I'm just going to click, I've got it open. So this is going to show all of my listings, and I don't have very many because I am not a real estate agent. But basically, House Hunt is just a big Google map that showcases all of your listings on it. So if I click here, it'll zoom me in closer. And these little markers indicate my listings that I have set up. Okay, so if you want to send a link to House Hunt on your e-flyers so someone can see all of your other listings, or you can have it as a link in your email signature, basically people can come and they can go, oh, look what else Jana has listed. And I can view the tour from here, I can click and get more details, I can add it to my favorites, I can look at the street view because we're on Google. It's just a little free marketing tool that our agents can use if they want. And it is just a Google map, right? So you can zoom in really close. Maybe you don't know the area. Okay, oh, here we go. It looks residential. I can search for, schools. I can search for grocery stores. Maybe I'm not familiar with the area and it'll populate with everything. Oops, sorry, I'm moving it around, so it's trying to populate. I think we have a quick question here. I'll take a quick look. Maybe at the end, Rhonda. We'll just go through this. Okay, so no problem. Okay, so basically House Hunt freebie that you can use, just a Google map. Let's go back to where we were in the tour, okay? Oh, next up is Matterport, and I just showed you guys a sample of Matterport, but you remember on the photos I had pasted in my Matterport code, which I would get from my photographer, And now here's my Matterport. And there's a link to the Matterport if I want, right? And there's also embed code. If I want to embed this tour into a website, I can do that. I maybe want to just send my client or someone just the Matterport portion. They don't want to see the rest of the virtual tour. That's fine. We've given you the code right here just for the Matterport portion, which you might want to send to your client or somebody. Statistics. Every Monday, our system sends out statistics to all of our agents for each of their listings. That way they can check and see how many people have watched my virtual tour, how many people have, clicked on my e-flyer if they want to know. Okay, so they can check that here on statistics. They can also go into statistics on the main navigation page. If you want your client to also see the statistics for this particular listing, you can put in their name and their email and add them. And then on Mondays, your client will receive these statistics for this particular listing. They're not going to receive stats for all of your listings because you don't want that. You just want this client to get the stats on their own listing so they can see how many people have watched the tour or clicked on the e-flyer. So that's optional. Maybe you don't want them to see that. That's fine. You don't have to. Okay, guess what? We have just gone through the entire virtual tour. And that is a lot. The virtual tour is our most complicated and big product. But as I mentioned, a lot of the features we saw are optional. Some people might have a small listing. They'll upload 10 or 15 pictures, pick music, and that's it. So they can do their tour in a couple minutes, okay? So just keep in mind, you can make your tour as, complicated or simple as you want. And I also want to mention, and it's unfortunate that our timing's a little off, but we are redoing our virtual tour player. So the player I just showed you, that is our current player. And we're just going to call it the classic player. We're about to release a single property website version of your virtual tour. So that will look very much like a website featuring one property. It will have a virtual tour embedded in it, but it also just has a slideshow of all the images, and then you can scroll down the page and look at your floor plan, your Matterport, your property details, the map, everything is presented on one page, so it looks like a single property website. Now we're in the testing phase for that, and I'm hoping if things go well this week, by the end of this week, we might be ready to release it for early next week. And then people will have the option. Yes, so Amy, there is a cost for the virtual tours. Actually, I can just go into my virtual tours and show you the packages. So right now we have 4 virtual tour packages. We have a very basic bronze, which is only $9.99. Then we have silver, gold, and platinum. So the one I just showed you was the platinum. It has all the extra bells and whistles. And if you get a platinum tour, you get to use our print creator for free. And you can also do things like upload videos and things like that. If you do the basic bronze tour, you don't have those extra bells and whistles. You don't have things like captions. You don't have SEO or house hunt, that kind of thing. But sometimes your listing doesn't call for that. And then you might just want to do a bronze tour. And as I mentioned, the Platinum Virtual Tour is free if you order professional photography. And you can order the cheapest, smallest photo shoot you want. You'll still get a free Platinum Tour. So it's a really good deal to order professional photography because you get this. Okay, but these are the 4 packages for tours. Okay. All right, so we're getting close. We only have 2 more to go through, and they're a lot faster, e-flyers and print materials. Most people, once they've booked their photo shoot, once they've got their virtual tour done, next up they want to do an e-flyer, which they will blast out to the real estate community. The e-flyer will announce the property, the listing, and the e-flyer will link to the virtual tour that they just made, okay? So most people are going to come in, they're going to click on e-flyers. Again, we are on our listings page. So this listing already has an e-flyer published, paid for, sent out. These are all of my other listings that maybe I haven't done an e-flyer for. Maybe I've got an e-flyer started, I just didn't finish it. Whatever reason, it sits here. You can also start from scratch and create your listing here because we have clients who only use us for e-flyers, right? You don't have to use all of our products. Some people only use us for virtual tours. Some people only use us for e-flyers. Most of our clients will use everything together because everything's kind of built and designed to function together. Okay, but let's just, to save us a bit of time, let's go into our tutorial street. So this is the one that we just did the virtual tour for. Under options, I can create a new flyer. I can edit an existing flyer that maybe I started but didn't finish, or I can set this entire listing to inactive. We don't want to do that. Let's create a new flyer. Okay, Once again, we're now in the back end of the flyer creator. Just like the virtual tour creator, we have a navigation bar across the top. Now it has dumped us right into the template library. The reason it's done that is because if I go back to property details, this is the exact same property details page as the virtual tour, right? Because it's the same listing. So you do not have to create stuff repeatedly. If you've set up your property listings and you've set up the property details for the virtual tour, when you come into a new product, all of that information is already here. You don't have to do it twice, okay? So that's why the system just skipped us, because we already did this. We don't have any existing flyers. If we did, they would show up on that page. It's dumped us right into the template library. Our template library has a whole bunch of categories down here on the left-hand side. So we've got like American ones, we've got artistic ones, we've got some blank ones, because a lot of people will have their own personal graphic designer who designs the flyer for them, and then they can just upload a JPEG or a PDF and dump it into our empty template and then blast that out. You can do that too. So we've got holiday ones for Christmas and stuff. We've got ones that feature multi-listings. Maybe you've got 4 listings and you just want to do one e-flyer, right, that showcases all 4 listings. Okay, let's go in and let's pick a Texas one. Let's pick an Austin one. Okay. Oh, actually, no, let's go in and pick one of our new flyers. Let's do that. Okay, so here are the new flyers. Now you'll notice they're just a tiny little thumbnail, so they're kind of hard to see. If you want to see more detail, you can click on Preview underneath it, and you'll get a nice sized pop-up with a finished flyer in it. So you can go, oh, okay, this is what the flyer could look like once I have all of my content in it. Right, I like it. Close that one. Let's just say this is the one I want. When you find the one you want, you just click on Select. Now the system is creating the template for us, so it can take a few seconds, and it's always a little slower on webinar. Okay, here we go. Oh, too much text. This is a little warning telling me that one of my text fields has too much text. Okay, got it. Close that. All right, we are now in the edit template part of the process. So here's my little template that I chose. Okay, here are all of my pictures. Right? It's the same pictures that I had for the virtual tour. I don't have to upload them again. However, if there's a specific picture that I want in the flyer that I haven't already uploaded into the tour, I can still upload an image here if I want to, okay? But let's take a look at the template. So my address is already here. My text is already here because I got a warning that it was too big. My price is here, my logo, my headshot, all my contact information, all of this stuff is already in my template. How did this happen? It happened because I took the time when I've created my account to fill in my contact information. I already uploaded my headshot and logo. On my property details page, I already included the street address, I included my property description, I included my price, all that stuff. So depending on which template you choose and which fields are included on that template, information will auto-populate from your account into the template just to save you some time. Okay? It doesn't mean that you can't edit the content. You'll notice when I mouse over, these are live. When I mouse over a text field, if I click on this one, I get my little text box editor, which is bigger because you can't, it's really hard to edit in these teeny tiny boxes. Okay, now there's a few basic edits I can do. Now I got a warning that I had too much text in here, so I'm just going to automatically click a bunch of it and just delete it. Delete, okay? I can highlight my text and I can, just do some basic stuff. I can align center, left, right. I can bold. I can add italics. I can choose a font color. So I can choose from these font colors if I want. I can make my text bigger or smaller if I want. I can add like a numbered list or a bulleted list. Just some very basic features that you can do in here, okay? I can also type in new text. Hello, there's some new text. Okay, when I'm done, I hit OK. And without leaving this page, the system renders my change and refreshes my template. There's my new text. You can see the word hello that I put there at the bottom. Okay, I can do this to any of my text fields. I'm just going to check my things. I'm not sure if there's a new question. No, okay, sorry guys, just checking. Right, okay, so I can mouse over any of these text fields and I can edit any of them. Maybe I want to use a different phone number or something, I can edit any of those right here. If I want to leave a text field empty, maybe I don't want the price on the flyer. I want people to phone me. Click on the price one, highlight that text, delete it, now it's empty, hit OK. The system is going to render that change I just made. Give it a sec. There, now the price is gone. But if I wanted to put something else in there, I can just mouse over And there's the text field is still there, so I could always click and get back into it, but I can also remove stuff that's in it. So that's how you do the text. Really easy. Next up, all we need to do now is add some of our images, and then our template's done. So here are all of my images from the virtual tour, because that's where I first created this listing. I just drag and drop the thumbnails, drop them into the template. There they are. Okay, whichever pictures I want. There's a bedroom, there's a living room. Let's put a kitchen in there, little dining room. Okay, click away. There they are. If I decide, you know what, I really don't like that picture of the bedroom, I want a different picture, just click. And you can drag and drop right over top. There's the new one. Okay, hit refresh. Every time I make a change, there'll be a refresh button. The system's going to render those changes I just made, but I don't leave the page. That's what's so great about this. You don't have to leave this page and go to a proof page to see the change you just made. It just refreshes it and it's right here in front of you. Okay? If you want to remove something, you can, there's each image has a little X. You can delete the image, drag and drop a new one, or you can drag and drop right over top of the old one. If you want an image gone, you don't want it on here at all. Like for example, maybe I don't want this QR code here. For whatever reason, I don't want it. I can delete the QR code. System's going to render. Okay, now this image field is just an image field. I can drag and drop any image I want. Maybe I've got a second logo I want to put there instead. Or if I want to delete the image field entirely, I just delete the actual image field. This way my finished product will just show the nice red background. There won't be anything there. If I change my mind and I want to restore that image field, I just click restore and it will bring it back, and then I can drag and drop something onto it. Okay, so keep in mind, these are templates. We try to give our users a little bit of freedom so they can, change the fonts a bit, change the size, delete one or two pictures, but that's all you can do at this point. You can't click on an image and move it all the way over here. Maybe in the future we'll have a system where you can do that, but right now we're trying to make our agents' lives easier by providing them with already nice layouts, nice colors, nice fonts, right? So that they don't have to do all that decision making for themselves. So there we go. Next up on the navigation bar is view the proof. This is where I get a chance to see a much larger version of the template I just created. Okay, I cannot stress how important it is to take 5 minutes and proof your flyer, because this is going to be blasted out as an e-flyer. And once you blast it out, if there's a mistake in it, you can't get it back. It's the same as when you send someone an email. If you notice that you've forgotten something or you've made a mistake, you can't get that email back from them. You have to then send a second email, which you can do, but it never looks good. People are going to get the second flyer and they won't necessarily know what's different about it, and they might just delete it. So it happens every day. We get a panicked phone call from an agent who has just blasted out a flyer to like 5,000 agents, and there's a big mistake in it. Maybe it's for an open house and they forgot to put the time, they forgot to put the address, just silly things like that. So really take a minute, really get a good look at it, make sure it's what you want. If you need to make further edits, you can use the navigation bar and jump back, or you can click edit further and jump back. If you want your client to sign off on it, click on client proof. You can add their email address and a little message. Hi Bob, here's the flyer I made. Let me know if you're good to go with it, right? I'll blast it out tomorrow, or let me know if you want changes. Hit send proof. Bob gets this exact picture. He gets a little JPEG of this so he can look at it and go, yep, Jana, love it. It's perfect. Send it out. Okay. So that's one other way to cover your butt. You can get your client to sign off on it. All right. Let's say we're happy with our flyer. It's perfect. We love it. We're ready to blast it out. Next up is links. The first thing you have to do on this page is include a subject line for your e-flyer. By subject line, what we mean is the exact same thing when you send someone an email. You're going to put a subject line at the top so they have an idea what the email is about, whether they need to open it, whether it's an emergency, whatever. Type in a subject line. You cannot send your e-flyer without it. Okay? Now, keep in mind you're not going to type a paragraph. You're just going to type something enticing that's going to get the agent to open it. Whatever. Amazing property with low price. I don't know. The agents will know better than me what they should type in here, okay? Okay, do not put exclamation points at the end of your subject line, okay? No matter how excited you are for your listing, don't do it. It is a spam flag, and a lot of offices will block your e-flyer from coming in just based on that exclamation point, okay? So don't do it. All right, next up, links. So you have the option of linking this e-flyer to 3 different URLs. Now, we assume that most people want the e-flyer to link to your virtual tour. So to save you time, we've already auto-populated the first link fields with the link to your virtual tour. Okay? So that's already done. However, if I don't want that, these fields are editable. I can click in here, change this. I can delete this. Maybe I use Realtour for my e-flyers, but I use a different company for my virtual tours. That's totally fine. All you need is the link to that virtual tour. You copy and paste that link in here. And then when someone clicks on this e-flyer, they see the link, they see the virtual tour that you made with the other company. That's totally up to you. You can do that. Okay, the next 2 links are optional. Some people might say, they might want a welcome to Austin, right? Because my listing's in Austin. Then you can just put in whatever website that is. Let's just call it austin.com. Or maybe you want them to come to, my website, right? And then it would just be whatever your website is. Let's just say jana.com. To make sure that these links work, you have a chance to preview the e-flyer. It's going to open in a pop-up window. Okay, there's my subject line. It's coming from me. There's my flyer. Down here at the bottom, these links are actually live. So I can actually click on one and just make sure it goes to the right website. Okay, austin.com. Perfect, that works. So again, take a minute, test these links, make sure they go to where you expect them to. If they don't, this is just a pop-up window. I can close the pop-up window, fix them, test it again. Okay? When I'm done, I can hit continue, or I can use my navigation bar and go to distribution. This is the last step, so bear with me, we're almost done. Distribution, this is how I decide how I'm going to blast out my e-flyer, and I have 2 options. I can use the map blast tool, which is what most of our clients use, or if I have a list of my own email addresses, my own contacts, I can do that, and I can do both of them at the same time in the same blast. So let's just do the map blast. I click that, it pops up. Again, it's a Google map. And what we've done, just to save you some time, we've made a target area in the center right here, a little square target area with my listing right there in the middle of it. Okay? Now, over here on the right, I can see a summary. In this area, there are 3,041 agents. It's going to cost me 30 bucks and 58 cents to blast it to the people, the agents in this geographical area. Well, that's a lot. Do I really need to send this to 3,000 agents? If I want to make that smaller, I can click on any of these little handles and just make my little, there we go, make my little target area smaller. Every time I change it, this changes. Now it's only 1,011 for $18. Again, this is a Google map, so I can use the controls here and zoom in so I can see better. Maybe I want this to be a very, very targeted hit right here, right downtown, because that's the only place that's going to be worth anything. 368 agents, $12.67. Perfect. Zoom in again so I can, yeah, that's exactly what I want. If I'm happy with this, I can hit continue and I'm done. I can also add an additional target area. I'll just click this, it'll probably zoom me out. There we go. I can add an additional target area if I want to, target just a different neighborhood for whatever reason. I can zoom in. I can make that, maybe this one is just really, really tiny. Who knows? For whatever reason, you might want to do this. We've had agents who do want to use various target areas. There is no limit to the amount of target areas. You could have 10 target areas if you want. Most people will only ever have 1 target area, right? But depending on the nature of the listing, you might want to advertise to various parts of the city. You might also want to advertise to another city. You could zoom, we're in Austin, I could zoom all the way out and go to Houston. Right? And then zoom in Houston, add a target area, and my e-flyer will go to the agents in Austin and also in Houston. Okay? If I don't want that second target area, delete it. Now it's gone. What I really want is just this one targeted area right downtown. Okay? $12.67. Continue. I'm back on the page I just left. Okay? Map blast going to 368 agents. Again, there's my pricing. Let's say I also have a special list of people that I always send my listings to, even if they're not going to buy something, but they want to be in the loop on what's going on. I can add them this way. I click on my contacts. I have a little text field up here at the top where I can manually type in an email address if I want, right? Or I can copy and paste a bunch and just paste them in here. If I find that I'm sending my e-flyers to the same people and I don't want to have to add them every time, once I've added all their names, I can give this distribution list a name and save it. Then it will show up here in a list of my distribution people. So for example, my client gold list. If I click on that, These are the people on my gold list. These are my best clients. I send them all my listings no matter what. I can add a new one here, you know, bob.com. Hit save. Now Bob is on my list. I can also delete people, so I can edit that list. Okay? So that will save you some time. I'm going to select, oh yeah, I just got a warning that one of my things is invalid. My Bob email's not real. So I'll have to edit that. But anyway, you get the idea that you can add people to your list, you can save them, and you can come in. If you want to include them, you can just tick and include it. I'm not going to include that because it detected that that email address was invalid. Okay. So we're back on the distribution page. Map Blast 368. If I had chosen to send it to my people, they would show up here as well, but I added that Bob email, which I shouldn't have done. But anyway, you get the idea. When I'm ready to go, I just click continue. It adds the order to my shopping cart. And again, we're in the shopping cart. There's a little summary. There's my subject matter. It's going to 368 people. I have a corporate discount. That's just because we're in my testing account. Just ignore that. Once I pay for this, my e-flyer will join the queue and it will start to go out. And that could be 5 minutes. It could be an hour. It just depends how busy the day is. Most people send their e-flyers on a Friday. So that tends to be a busy day and you might wait 20 minutes or a half an hour. But generally speaking, your e-flyer goes out right away. So that's why you need to proof it and make sure there are no mistakes in it, right? Because once you pay for it, it's going out. However, if you wanted to wait, if you didn't want to send it till tomorrow, just leave it in your shopping cart and that's fine. You can do that as well. Now I'm going to delete this order so we don't accidentally send it because I have done that before. There we go. And I should also mention, as I mentioned with our virtual tour, that we're doing major updates to it. We are also in the process of updating our e-flyer sender as well. So there'll be some extra bells and whistles. For example, being able to select a time that you want it to go out. That's a new feature that we're going to be adding into the e-flyer over the next couple of months. We're updating our template library, so you'll be able to search the templates more easily. You could just say, you know what, I only want to see templates with a black background. I only want to see templates that have 5 image fields. I only want to see templates that are, you know, feature 3 listings or feature 2 agents. We're adding a search function in as well. So I'm hoping all these new bells and whistles will be ready in a couple months. That's something I should mention to you guys at this point. We update our software all the time based on feedback from our clients and from our photographers. If someone has an idea for something that would work better and we agree it's a great idea, we'll implement it. So our software does change over time, you know, just to keep up with everything. So that's why we're adding some new stuff to our virtual tours and new stuff to our e-flyers. Okay. We're going to do print materials. Don't panic. It is almost identical to making an e-flyer, so it'll be really, really fast, and it's the last thing we're going to go through today. So I'm going to quickly click on print materials. So at this point, I've ordered my photo shoot. I've done my virtual tour. I've just sent out my e-flyer. Most people will want a printed flyer that they can hand out at their open houses. Okay? So what we do to save you time, here's the listing I just did the e-flyer for. I can come in under options, I can create a new one, or if I click edit existing, there's the flyer I just made, right? To save you time, our system is not going to make you create that e-flyer again just so you can print it, right? All of our flyers are 8.5 by 11, and we've done that on purpose so that if you do an e-flyer, you can then just download a PDF of it, and now your print one is done, assuming you don't want to make any changes. If you want to make changes, you can just edit, go in and edit this, and then you'll have an e-flyer version and a print version. Maybe the print version, remember we removed the price? Maybe the print version, you want to add the price back. So you just click edit existing, you go into the template editor, which is identical to what we just saw in the e-flyer, add your price, download your PDF, okay? And you're done. If you want to do something new, you can click create new. I'm going to show you that we do have a template type. So this is where it's different from e-flyers. E-flyers are only 8.5 by 11. But we are looking into doing a 2-page e-flyer. So that's something that we're going to try to add to our new improvements. But right now, you can only do a single-page e-flyer. They're 8.5 by 11. Print material, you can do a single-sided flyer, 8.5 by 11, but you can do a double-sided one. So you have 2 pages, and you can download the PDF and print it double-sided. Brochures, same thing. A brochure is 11 by 17. Okay, and then you fold it in half. So it's like a little booklet with a front cover and a back cover and then the 2 inside pages. We do postcards as well. We have a jumbo size and then we have a little mini small one. Okay, so the only difference when you're in print material is that you get to choose what type of template you want. Let's just do double-sided. just so we can take a look at what that looks like. Again, we are in the library. It's the same library basically as what you just saw for the e-flyers, okay? Let's just select one of these, one of my favorites. It pulls it up. It's going to populate it with as much stuff as it can. It's going to bring me into the template editor. Template editor is identical to the e-flyer one. The only difference is that I have tabs for front and back. If I drag my pictures over, I'll do this really quickly because I know we've been on here for a long time. Okay, I'll hit refresh. It'll place the pictures properly, put my background stuff over top so it looks nice. There we go. All of my text is already in here. My price, my address, my property details, but if I mouse over, I can change them. Okay? If I go back page, more picture fields, let's get some pictures in there. Okay, it's got some more text, got my contact information, my logo. Hit refresh and I'm done. Okay? So basically it's the exact same procedure as making an e-flyer, but I've got 2 pages. View proof, exact same scenario. No, it's a little slow. There we go. So same scenario as the e-flyer. I can look at the front, I can look at the back, I can edit further, I can send a proof to my client. Okay, so it's like, okay, are you happy with this? Because I'm going to print these. When I'm done, I complete my order. Now, because I did a virtual tour for this listing and I did an e-flyer blast for this listing, I get to use the print creator for free. So that means I get to download a PDF of this for free. I don't have to pay for it. Normally, it would be $9.99 per listing. So as I mentioned, some of our clients only use us for one product. So we have old clients who use us just for the print creator. They don't do anything else. So they don't get the print creator for free. What they do is they pay $9.99 for that listing, and then they can make as many pieces of print material for that listing as they want. They can have a single-sided, double-sided, a couple brochures, a couple postcards. They only pay the $9.99 once for the listing. Okay? So we do not offer printing in-house. But what you can do is download the PDF. We're finding most people just print these themselves at home. If you're, if you're doing an open house and you've got a nice printer at home, or they will place an order through their own printer. And all that means is you would put your printer's email address, send them some instructions. Hi, Mike, please print 50 copies of this brochure, double-sided, full color. I'll pick them up on Tuesday. And then you can send them to Staples or whoever it is that you get to use. Our system will send a print quality PDF. When you hit order prints, an email will go, that PDF will be attached to it. So you can do your own printing that way. Okay, we're back to the dashboard page. So that is basically a quick tutorial rundown on our 4 core products: photo shoots, virtual tours, e-flyers, and print materials. Okay. If you want, anyone, like any of our title reps or anyone, can create a free Realtour account. It doesn't cost anything. And if you want, you guys can come in and you can do what I just did. I made a virtual tour. I did an e-flyer. I did a print material. I didn't pay for anything, right? I can go through the entire process and just learn how to do it by doing it. And when I get to the shopping cart, just delete. And all of my listings in here are fake listings. I just make up addresses. I use pictures because I have access to pictures from our photographers, but you can upload any pictures you want just to practice if you want to learn how to do it. So you can always come in here at any time and do it. Okay, so that's basically it for our session. If anybody has questions, let me know. I'll sit on here for a few minutes. I'm still recording as well, so we can get those recorded. And I will post the recording to YouTube later, and I'll send an email to Sarah probably. So, and if you think of any questions later, just send me an email or send Amanda an email on our helpline.
Jana, okay. What about the question I asked you about the commercial and mortgage piece of it?
Yeah, so do you mean like if someone had a mortgage business, if they wanted to send out an e-flyer advertising?
Yeah, I'm a little bit different from the standpoint that I really don't call on realtors. Residential realtors, I call on mostly lenders, commercial and mortgage people, and some commercial brokers. So I'm just trying to determine the application with that end of it.
Yeah, so we don't usually allow anything to go out in our e-flyer blast that are not advertising listings. And we do that so that our agents don't unsubscribe from our list.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Okay.
Like we want to keep it, so it is strictly agent to agent advertising their listings. That's how they share their information. Just to keep it so it doesn't become about advertising and stuff.
So there's not really an application here for lenders then.
No, not for our e-flyers, and you wouldn't need a virtual tour either.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I just wanted to make
Yeah.
sure.
Yep, no problem. Okay, if anybody has any other questions, let me know. And if you don't, we will adjourn so everyone can get back to their day.
I have one question.
Go ahead.
With regard to our mortgage folks, you couldn't send an email, but couldn't you create a listing presentation or one of those flyers with the mortgage person on it? Because sometimes the mortgage people might like that.
Yeah, you could. You could create your stuff, and then you could download your PDF and stuff, but you're not going to want to blast it out using our e-flyer tool.
Right, but I have some mortgage folks who have very good relationships with the realtors, and that might be a nice tool for them to be able to help their agents.
Sure. No, sure. And you should, when I send the link to the YouTube, I'll include Amanda's email address because she looks after all of our client support and all of our marketing and products. So you could talk to her about that. She'd probably be more, she would understand a better way to help you probably.
Okay. And
she might have some ideas for you.
Okay, and the realtors that you have in your system, those are all residential realtors, right?
We do have the occasional builder who will send out, an e-flyer advertising a new subdivision.
Gotcha.
So the bulk of our agents are residential.
But you could, Rhonda, you could, in theory, create a virtual tour for a commercial property.
Sure. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
You wouldn't have anyone to send it to, but you could still do the photo shoot, the virtual tour, and the e-flyer and the print material. You just wouldn't use the email system.
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can download the links to everything, right? You can post that virtual tour anywhere you want, and you've got a link to it that you can send out in an email to your own people. Okay. I think we're good. I'm going to stop the recording. There we go. Okay. And that's it. So everyone, I hope you have a great Monday and a great week, and I hope it warms up down where you are. I hear it's cold.
Thank you, Jana, for your time.
No worries.
All right,
Thanks,
thank
guys.
you.